Hey guys, Jen with Astrology. Happy Halloween. I have my Jason Voorhees shirt on and I got a really cool old background here. Hope you like it. If you do, please comment in the comments. Let me know what you think, and maybe we'll go to some other fun places. And please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get some further ones. Maybe we'll have some other cool backgrounds. But today we are going to talk about the astrology of November, and this is all about temperance. So we are on the home stretch, guys. So it's the last mile to election day, even more that it's Pluto's final ingress into Aquarius. So a powerful start to the month. We have a new moon in Scorpio. So check out that video if you haven't. I'll put a link at the end of this one. You want to be prepared for a lot of emotional turmoil, as you know, the water signs play a huge role this month, in the beginning of the month, especially before everything starts kind of moving out. You want to get those emotions out. We got to face those demons. And you know, we have the sun, we have the moon, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, all in water signs. So you want to really cry it out and just go with the flow, like let things flow right out. You want to get in touch with your inner self. Really, that's what this is all about, is really going deep and, you know, do some deep diving into your just inner sea of emotions. Because as a collective, we really need to have ourselves under control, especially due to the forming aspects that are coming along, and the big oppositions coming up. When Mercury trines Mars on the 2nd of November, then it will sextile Pluto. So in that last degree of Scorpio, we need to really, again, face ourselves, talk about those sensitive subjects. So that's that Mars and Mercury just coming out, talk about that, get out those past skeletons, face those demons in order to transform ourselves from the inside out. So we can really emerge with new emotional freedom as Mercury moves into Sagittarius. So our big opposition for the month really happens on the 3rd with Mars opposing Pluto. So this is where things really start to get a little bit intense, especially since it is in the days leading up to one of the most contentious elections of my lifetime, if not of all time. So this is on the 3rd, but it's resonating about 3 before and 3 days after the Mars and Pluto opposition is a fight for control. Mars aptly moves into Leo later that day. Chili, come over here. I don't want her to fall through the cellar here. Mars absolutely moves into Leo later that day. So it's about who is going to come out on top, who is going to be that sun, who's going to be that leader. All I know from looking at this, though, is if I were Trump especially, I would really beef up my security, because being with the extreme mudslinging on the campaign on both sides, and already 2 assassination attempts, that Uranus isn't leaving his midheaven and he still has the square to his Mars. So this opposition can add even more fireworks to the election, to an already very crazy election. Venus will oppose Jupiter. That's our second big opposition on the 3rd. Now this opposition is one of two benefics. But of course, too much of a good thing is always a good, not a good thing. So, this can lead to overdoing the good stuff. It can, feel almost like a lack of ambition, saying like, why should I vote? Why, will my vote even matter? Well, yeah, it will. So get out there, guys. Don't make excuses and just do it, because you never know. Watch for that. Keep that in mind when you're starting to feel a certain way. And especially with Venus and Jupiter, temperance is key. Again, you want to, not too much. You want to, have that good balance, that seesaw going. Both oppositions can really reflect the vying for power. It's almost like a good versus evil, like the two sides of the tilt, blowing things up for gain and greed, or for the betterment of the people. So which is it going to be? The moon will go void, of course, on election day. So I usually don't really pay much attention to, moon stuff as far as mundane stuff goes. That's more of like a personal thing. But I thought this was especially important to add in here because so the moon goes void of course on the 5th, and it's for about 5 hours of time as it changes signs into Capricorn. I found it very important because, of course, Capricorn, we know, is the leader, is the, authoritarians. So I wouldn't be surprised if that void of course makes things like where we don't know what that leader's going to be. Maybe there'll be issues at the polls that are going to delay things, delay results, things not working properly, power or electrical issues that might come up that can delay getting votes counted or having a clear-cut winner. And giving, reasons for people to contest things, of course. So we know that's probably going to happen, but this moon going void of course is not really going to help things at all. Along with this, we have Mercury slowing down to begin its pre-shadow period, and that is on the 7th. So that's right after the election. So we want to pay extra attention here because we can see, contested election results perhaps that can ultimately lead to recounts and court cases, fraud accusations, a lot that what we saw in 2020 when people were really, oh, this happened and this can't be trusted, this can't be trusted. You're already seeing this coming out on the news. So we're seeing this already, and it's just more. I would expect it to just really come to fruition. I don't think we're going to have a clear answer on election day. So I think, with this coming up 2 days later, I really feel it's going to be a lot of like getting ready to look back. So this Mars retrograde period is going to get ready for us to go and look back at things and recount things maybe. All this really is coming together with the Mars-Pluto opposition, the Venus-Jupiter opposition, the void of course moon, and now Mercury getting ready for retrograde. So it's all just, spelling things out like this is not going to go easy, folks. So on the 9th, and I'm sorry I'm focusing so much on this, but this is the hugest thing that's going on, pretty much in the world right now. So at least in this part of the world. It plays a huge role, and the astrology is going to play a huge role in it. On the 9th, Venus will square Neptune. So again, unsurety, because Neptune is about that confusion, distorted views, like, oh, well, I think it's one thing, but it's not actually that. It's, personally even, not only on a mundane collective scale, this can be personally where you may feel a little bit less confident in yourself, where you may feel unattractive, question your relationships, like something might seem a little bit off, something that you don't trust. With this Jason shirt and seeing all these old houses, it's kind of creeping me out a little bit. But anyway, I'll continue. So you may feel like that, have those doubts. I feel a little bit of Neptune right now, kind of making me hearing things that I don't think are there. But I don't know, it is Halloween. So if you have, this can also mean with Venus that you might have doubts about your finance or your finances stability. You might feel a little bit nervous about that. This will only last a few days as Venus moves into Capricorn on the 11th. So that will make you feel a lot more disciplined. It will, force you to be a little bit more disciplined, which can help really as we head into the holiday season. We want to get our finances in check so we know how much we can spend on everybody. So Mercury then will square Saturn on the 12th. So that worry might start setting in, those negative thoughts. Words can take over. That worry can just go over and over in our heads, and hearing things, maybe even, arguing, suspicions, arguing with bosses, questioning authority could be a big one because Saturn is that authority figure, or who might actually be in power. Again, kind of pointing back to the election results. Moving on to the 15th, halfway through the month, we have our full moon in Taurus. That's at 24 degrees. So that is pretty much, that's 24 degrees 1 minute, which pretty much is exactly on my moon, which is at 24 degrees Taurus, 0 minutes. So this, along with Saturn stationing direct at 12 degrees Pisces, this will give us a newfound footing kind of, I think, to really drill down, to really kind of hone in, to start trudging forward, okay, this is what we got to do. We got to figure this out so we can move forward. So this is when everything's kind of come to a head, I think. We want to use this Taurus full moon to our advantage, especially for our mental health. I know a lot of people with the election being so crazy, people are just so overly passionate about it. And so stuff that is getting to you, you want to do the Taurus-y thing, like this, like what I'm doing here. You want to just exile yourself out in the middle of nowhere. Taurus, just that's that appreciating the world around you, appreciating nature, even though it's creeping me out a little bit, but it's really just getting out in nature and just like be that Saturn and exile yourself away, just to clear your head and just calm yourself down and move that energy around inside yourself, so it's not just sitting and stale in one place. You want to really move it around, because we got Saturn stationing, so Saturn's really drilling down in that one 12th degree of Pisces. So we want to kind of be able to move it around, get that Pisces water to just kind of flow it around a little bit throughout our bodies, so that it's not just like pushing on one area. So again, getting out in nature is great. Chili's out in nature right now. I have no idea where she is. So hopefully she's chasing whatever is making crackling noises away. So the sun will oppose Uranus on the 16th. Here's where the sun starts really coming into play. It's your ego, your power, your vitality. And with that opposition to Uranus, it's that rebelliousness. It's just get ready for change. It's that let's do this. Let's go. All right. Let's, enough is enough. We've been talking about this. Let's go. So, okay, that's there. I was totally creeped out, you guys. Anyway, so it's that let's do this thing. So Mercury, will then oppose Jupiter on the 18th. So many oppositions going on. The sun will trine Neptune right before sextiling Pluto. So this is big, grandiose ideas. A lot of uncertainty, though, with how to navigate the changes. But you're struggling with these new ideas and you're nervous, but you're kind of uneasy, but you're also excited about the unknown and the uncertain future. Like, everyone's been talking about this for so long, and now it's finally starting to happen, people. So it's actually really, I think, quite exciting, no matter who wins the election. Like, okay, so here's the big change. Who's going to bring us that change? What's it going to be? It's so exciting. Because then we move on to the 19th. And after all its back and forth, now Pluto is settling in to Aquarius for the last time for its 20-year stay there. So this is the first of the outer planets to make its ingress into the next. Then we have Uranus and Neptune that are going to follow suit all the way through 2026. So expect this to be a slow developing transformation on just a global scale. It's gonna just bring really profound periods of transformation to all of us and to, I think, the world in general. We happily then welcome, because that's just intense. So then we happily welcome Sagittarius season on the 21st, because Sagittarius is that need to break free, adopt that more optimistic Sagittarian thought that just, everything's going to work out. And yeah, things are going to go wrong, but things will end up working out. My daughter's a Sagittarius, and anything that gets her down, she'll be really upset about it, but things always end up working out. So that's what we need to keep in mind. Things will work out. So if your candidate doesn't win, it's not going to be the end of the world. You can get through it. I mean, it's happened in every election in history, and I really don't think one person is going to do the horrible things. I think it's going to be as a collective. It's going to be as a group effort throughout the world that we're going to make these changes. It can't be just one person, but that one person can be that catalyst that can start it. So this is that Sagittarius arrow pointing towards the future, really. On this 22nd, Venus will sextile Saturn. So that's that arrow. That Sag arrow maybe might have stuck into a long-term partner. So maybe the transformation personally could be that you find that long-term love, that forever person, that forever partner. Maybe you've been looking for someone to start a business with and you find that forever partnership, or you just make things official in a maybe casual partnership that you're already in. Saturn is almost is contracts. It's doing things seriously and not just for fun. It's, getting out of that 5th house and more into that 7th house kind of mindset. So you want a permanent partnership and not just someone to date around with, perfect day for that. So if anyone crosses your path, you might want to pay attention. The sun then will trine or actually, I'm skipping ahead. Mercury goes retrograde then on the 25th. And again, we're going to see, Chili, come, get out of there. Counting and recounting. I think re-emerging news stories coming up from the past, things, coming back to maybe, make, kind of throw a wrench in things, or maybe kind of give us some illumination to things. In Sag, we're going to maybe reconnect on a personal level with our spiritual beliefs, religious beliefs perhaps, or maybe re-explore someplace, go someplace that we used to go in the past, kind of check it out. Maybe something in the past like this that, might have fallen down that you want to just like go check it out again. Take a ride through your old neighborhood. Maybe Sagittarius can also be far away places. So maybe if you're thinking about booking that getaway somewhere, maybe now is the time to think about doing that. Good time to book it. But you might want to wait till Mercury's not retrograde anymore, just in case, So anyway, with that, then we have the sun trining the natal, trining the North Node on the 26th, and then it will trine Mars on the 27th. So what areas really in your life will you make that positive progress? Because that sun is our drive. It's what we want. It's our dynamicism. Really, it's our vitality. So we're going to go towards that North Node. That is that brass ring. That's what our destiny is. And Mars is that push forward. So where is this all falling in your chart? Where do you need that push forward to get you to that goal you are going for? Definitely pull your charts up. Check it out. Astro.com or Astro-Seek. Great places to do that. This also could be where we find out the election results and just kind of know for sure after all the recounts take place, maybe, and things like that, because that sun is really starting to shine. It's starting to come out. So who is going to come out with that North Node, with that shining sun? So I think it'll be really interesting. Also, we might see maybe some global renegotiations with this Mercury retrograde. So maybe re-talks coming up. And because it's in Sag, we do have that war going on in the Middle East. A lot of that is a religious base to an extent. So maybe that Sagittarius will help bring them back to the table and maybe reconnect, re-talk, renegotiate what's going on, so we can maybe have an end to that come up pretty soon. And maybe whoever is elected can help in that, so that we're so right now focused on who's going to be president that it kind of takes, I think, a lot of the government away from where they also should be pointing some focus. And because we don't really see a lot of that going on right now. So maybe that'll come back up, and whoever wins will really help kind of maybe bring some peace to these two awful wars that are going on around the world. Temperance is reopening that communication with a new, more positive attitude from your past closed mindset. So maybe, when you were shut down about something, maybe this will give you a positive mindset about it to kind of like rethink it. Okay, maybe you are a big Trump fan and I can't stand Kamala Harris, and then you start relooking. Okay, she gets elected president. All right, well, I got to look at this again, and I got to, okay, this is going to be for 4 years. So how am I going to deal with this? Same thing for the people that have, they say, Trump derangement syndrome, that, I want Kamala Harris to win. He can't win. He's rotten. He's a horrible human being. Well, maybe you want to relook at it. Maybe, rewatch some things that maybe were, maybe skewing things. Because, of course, the news is very biased on both sides. So everything, one news is saying about one person, the other one is attacking the other person. So maybe it's a good time to really kind of go back with some fresh eyes and just relook at things and maybe, have that ability to see past it. Then we're going to get towards the end of the month. It's going to calm a little bit, I hope, with Thanksgiving coming along. But with Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, that can make people get a little bit soapboxy. So bringing up past topics of contention, maybe politics. I absolutely do not allow politics to be talked in my house when I have a get together, like for Thanksgiving. I give my husband, and it's like, keep your mouth shut. I don't want fighting. You don't want any, especially after this election, you don't want any of those political I told you so's, or oh, your person's horror, or anything. Just over it, totally over it. Watch that. Go in happy with good positive thoughts, good positive outlooks. Remember, because also the moon is going to be in Scorpio, so this gets me a little nervous. The moon's going to be in Scorpio on Thanksgiving Day, so you're very passionate. When the moon is in Scorpio, it's a lot of passion going on there. So emotions, convictions, they run deep. So if somebody says something that maybe is that trigger, you could get really angry, you could get resentful, you could get, just that scorpionic kind of way, that kind of vengefulness. Just remember, this too shall pass. The moon moves really quickly. By the next day, you're going to be like, wow, I really shouldn't have started that fight. I wish I didn't do that. So, of course, you want to keep the drinking under control, keep that imbibing under control, because too much of a good thing is too much. So you got to remember that too. So you always want to be aware of these transits and where they're hitting you in your chart, because it could affect some people more than others. So we close the month with a release, letting go. Really, it's I think a perfect ending to this election season, to everything, with just a release, just letting go, because we come to December 1st with the new moon in Sagittarius, where we learn how to navigate our collective futures together. It's really learning and taking in that information like Sag. Let's do this all together, y'all. Please comment. Let me know what you think about my background, and if you saw anyone peeking out from around that, because that definitely looks like someone's peeking out from around that. So please comment. Let me know what you think. Your comments really help boost the channel. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell, because we're going to come up with some new and different things as we move out of this election period. It's going to be nice to talk about something else. So I hope y'all have a great beginning to the holiday season, and I will see you soon. Bye.